The biggest reason we as DIYers prefer iron in our fertilizers is because it's what gives your lawn the deeper, darker blue-green color that truly dominates your neighbors.
Applied iron's not going to do that in a granular form. Not going to happen.
So iron is what gives lawns that blue-green color.
But not applied iron, not granular applied iron, okay? Foliar iron can do that, often does do that, but granular iron is not going to do that. Not last week, not this week, and not next week. Never going to happen.
And that kind of balances out the bottom end green that you get from the potassium, as well as the straight up green and sheen that you get from the nitrogen.
That's the only part that's true. The nitrogen will do that. All this other stuff's complete nonsense.
When you find a fertilizer that has all three of those in it, you are going to get results. You're going to have a greener lawn within a few days after the application. Now,
well, that's like saying it has nitrogen, it has potassium, it has iron. If you have those three in there, then you're going to see a darker green color. That's like saying sinks are the cause of all diabetic deaths in the United States because everybody that died from diabetes had a sink in their house. It's ridiculous. In other words, the fertilizer he's applying, all the grass is going to look green because you're applying that fertilizer. Yeah, because you're applying nitrogen. It has nothing to do with the potassium or the iron. It's a composition division fallacy is what it is. He's saying that this fertilizer is going to cause this because of all three of these components of the fertilizer. Meanwhile, it's just nitrogen. And that's the reason why, you know, he's spinning it like this, because that's how he makes his margin on these high margin products of NK and iron or whatever else he's selling. When if you just went out to the farm store and bought urea or ammonium sulfate, you'd be doing for a fraction of the cost and getting the exact same response. So go down to the farm store, your co-op store, or, you know, even wherever you can find it, it's some local store, just buy straight urea, ammonium sulfate. If you have a potassium deficiency or if you have a phosphorus deficiency, then so be it. You find a fertilizer that has those. But if you don't, which you probably don't worry about it. But they have to convince you that you have a problem. They have to convince you that this potassium and iron is going to result in a dark green grass, or else you wouldn't buy it.